Welcome back, and moving on to our second segment of today, talking about Luxor, one of the most beautiful sites. And of course, the development and reviving projects taking place right now actually for the Grand Avenue of the Sphinxes in Luxor. Talking about the recent visit of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli to Luxor, and talking about reviving actually of these important sites, making Luxor again an open-air museum and attracting more tourism. Over the phone, we have Mr. Ehab Kamel, tourism expert and researcher in Egyptian antiquities. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. First of all, let's shed the light on the importance of the Avenue of the Sphinx in Luxor.
Well, we have to understand that the Avenue of Sphinx had been extending for more than 3 kilometers, linking between both temples, Karnak and Luxor, because in the ancient times they used to have a huge celebration. That was the biggest celebration. That was the celebration of the Opit, when the Amon-Ra, the king of gods, used to leave his residence in the Karnak, going all the way to stay with his harem in the temple of Luxor. And this was a great procession and a great celebration. That was the biggest festival, since in the ancient times Amon-Ra was considered to be the king of gods, and his cult had dominated all the other cults. So they used to have 2 routes, one in the Nile, when there was a boat sailed all the way from the Karnak to Luxor temple, but the most important was the land procession that went through the Avenue of Sphinxes all the way from Karnak to Luxor temple. That was called the Ipit Receipt, the southern residence of the god Amon-Ra.
So we can say the avenue itself is going to have more, because just while moving around from this temple to the other temple, here we have another story which we can witness, of course, during the visit, right?
Of course, when you walk through the Avenue of Sphinx, you're taking the same route of the ancient festival of the Opit. Imagine yourself doing something that was done thousands of years ago in the same place, following the same route. I think it's something spectacular.
And we can see how important it is, of course, and we can see also Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli is putting it on the top of the priorities and moving every now and then, checking on the latest developments taking place in the area as well.
Of course, because a very long time ago, there was a project that had stopped because of the political incidents that took place when Mr. Samir Farag was the governor of Luxor. Actually, there was a project to make Luxor an open-air museum, but we had stopped halfway because of the instability that Egypt had seen in the years between 2011 and 2014. And this project is a mega project which will turn Luxor to an open-air museum. And I think Luxor deserves to be an open-air museum, to be a major attraction to all visitors from all over the world to come and see Luxor, but in a magnificent display.
If I'm talking about Luxor and how this can attract more tourism, and especially now it's the winter season is about to start, how can we take benefit of this?
Look, the winter destinations are not many worldwide. Summer destinations are a lot, but winter destinations are not many worldwide. Luxor is one of them, actually, or Egypt in general. So this on its own, it's a major attraction, because if you think about winter destinations worldwide, you will find that there are only like 3 or 4, not many.
Right. What about the most important areas whenever you're talking about Luxor? And of course, you meet a lot of people coming to visit Luxor and to enjoy their vacation in Egypt. What is the most impressive parts over there that they always talk about and ask about?
Of course, the Karnak temple. The Karnak temple, it's occupying 62 acres of land built throughout 20 centuries. The biggest and the most impressive monument maybe in the whole world, with its magnificent colonnaded court, which they had restored, by the way, and the colors had started appearing again. the Temple of Luxor, the West Bank, the Valley of the Kings, with the great tombs, the great colorful decorated tombs with the scenes from the Book of the Dead that explains all about the ancient Egyptian funerary cult, Valley of the Queens. And there will be a big surprise in the next few years when as they are working now on the West Bank restoring the colossal statues of Memnon, and they had already discovered behind them the temple of King Amenhotep III, the funerary temple of King Amenhotep III, which I think it will be a major addition to the West Bank. You have the tombs of Deir el-Medina, and the Deir el-Medina village, the only residence left from the ancient Egyptian times, the village of the tombs artisans in the West Bank. The Valley of the Queens with the famous tomb of Queen Nefertari, one of the most beautiful tombs in Egypt and in the whole world. It's something beyond imagination. There are lots of tourist attractions which I think they can attract lots of visitors. The visitors can spend a week or 10 days in Luxor easy to see everything.
Right, and also we can see the Minister of Antiquities and Tourism also inspecting the whole area again, along with people. We can see right now on the screen, and the people working in this project. And let me say also that what is really also interesting, that all of the people working on this project, they are Egyptians. They are providing more job opportunities, of course, in the area. And this is another important part when it comes to the mega projects as well.
Of course, Dr. Khalid Al-Anani, don't forget that he's got an archaeological background. And at the same time, he knows a lot about tourism with also his background. He's got a touristic background as well. But really, I think the big achievement was that we started finding Egyptian expeditions working now. We didn't see that before. We didn't see that a lot before. But actually, starting from the time of Dr. Khalid Al-Anani and Mr. Mustafa and Dr. Mustafa Waziri as well, we started seeing young, enthusiastic archaeologists. They are leading digs, they are running digs, Egyptian expeditions, finding great cachettes and finds like the one in Asasif, where they had discovered more than 30 sarcophagi buried over there. It was all discovered by Egyptians, by Egyptian hand. So I believe that there's a young generation of archaeologists which are very promising, and there will be more findings by those enthusiastic young generation.
Sometimes we talk about people who are interested in Egypt. Sometimes we talk about segmenting them. Some people are interested in recreational, moving into the Red Sea, the Mediterranean, also with all the facilities provided and services over there, and of course the historical and antiquities sites. So definitely no one on earth is not interested to search and learn more about ancient history and civilization, and to be in a place that, in being in that place, people used to live in the same place thousands of years ago. Not even this, but you are in a place that are places that are very well preserved. Even as you mentioned, some of these temples still they have their colors, the same paintings. All these things definitely, I believe it is completely different. No one can explain the feelings of being in such places.
Well, let me tell you, first of all, Egypt as a destination, it does not need any advertising. Everybody in the whole world, the students, they study about ancient Egypt in the primary education. So Egypt is well known to everyone. Second, that yes, Egypt, the Egyptian touristic product is it has got lots of things to offer. We have recreation, like in the Red Sea or on the Mediterranean in the summer. But let me tell you, this is not our brand. And that's why I appreciate very much what Dr. Khalid Al-Anani is doing. Our brand is cultural tourism, the archaeological tourism. This is our brand, which we are very well known of. Nobody can compete with us in this part of the brand or in this field, the cultural tourism. No destination can compete with Egypt in this. The other destinations like the Red Sea, the Mediterranean, we have competitors. That is why I'm emphasizing on that our brand is the cultural tourism. Yes, we have recreational tourism as well. I have nothing against this. However, we have to concentrate on our brand and marketing our brand of cultural tourism, because that is the most profitable tourism.
The competitive advantage of the whole thing, yes.
Definitely, yes.
Right. Mr. Ehab Kamel, a tourism expert and researcher in Egyptian antiquities, thank you very much for joining us. Right, and guys, I guess with this, we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more coming up on Mar TV International.